And action.
Well, howdy, partners. I'm Mitch, and welcome to the show. There were no accents like that, were there, in Hateful Eight?
No.
You know, Danny, I was rummaging through all of my rubbish trying to find some Western gear, and this is the best thing I could find. That and Alfred E. Newman on a horse. and no, don't you clap me. Hey, welcome to the Dan and Mitch Show. He's Dan.
And here's Mitch.
And today we're on Hateful Eight. Oh yeah. Another movie I haven't seen, Danny. Let's get straight to it. You've seen the movie.
Yes.
And you have things to say.
I have things to say.
Excellent. Glad one of us does.
Quentin Tarantino's 8th film.
Oh, his 8th film.
Yep.
How convenient.
Oh, I thought so. Well, did you know Quentin Tarantino has gone on record multiple times as saying that he's only ever going to do 10 films.
Oh, has he?
Yep.
So we're nearing the end.
We're nearing the end. He says he's got 2 more films left.
Oh, I don't like that.
I didn't think you would. I don't think anyone... Well, I don't like the fact that...
I think he'll definitely... You know, he's not going to go through with it.
Well, he said he wants to move on to do maybe more television. He wants to do more stage.
Maybe he'll do musicals,
novels.
He can do something like Cannibal the Musical.
Let's build a snowman. We can make him our best friend. Not so tough.
I mean, that was a Western.
I think you're getting confused between Quentin Tarantino and not Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a movie that revolves around a cabin.
Okay.
A cabin in the snow.
Cabin in the woods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's woody.
It's a woody cabin.
It's a woody cabin.
Yeah.
And
you lose me, Danny.
Okay, so Kurt Russell brings Jennifer Jason Leigh
All right.
to a cabin, and someone there is basically trying to set her free.
So it's a giant game of Clue.
Yes.
In a cabin.
Yes.
In the woods.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, sounds good.
What are your thoughts about films being shot on film versus digital?
Oh, I don't really have a preference. I don't know. I think for Tarantino films, it's kind of cool to have a retro aesthetic to them.
Sure.
Like, doesn't it have all the grain and the buzz and
Yeah.
all the distortion and crap?
Yeah. No,
Excellent. Maybe we could film in that. Maybe that would make our show better.
Lord, no, that would be impossible.
Terry, can we cue the Western filter? There we go. He's gonna have to do that in post.
I'm not going to do that in post.
Terry, there we are. And we're back. You know, I heard that the Hateful Eight was originally supposed to be originally supposed to be written as a sequel to Django Unchained.
Actually, it was Django in White Hell. It was started to written as a novel, and he felt that the reason he didn't go ahead with that is everyone knew Django's moral code and moral compass, so there was no mystery about his character.
The Hateful Eight, they are actually hated. Like, aren't they really horrible, evil characters?
I think it's more that they're...
Because I heard that they didn't want to have Django as like in that mix because, as you said, like his moral code is better than the people in the cabin.
It's not... I don't think...
But since I haven't seen it, I don't know how evil we're talking here.
Well, I don't think hateful and evil are necessarily the same thing. Like, there are good characters who just do... Or there are good characters who commit violence. So they can be hateful and hate bad people.
So are they hateful because they hate outward, or are they hateful as in everyone hates them?
Both.
Yeah?
Yeah, both. Oh. All the characters...
Hateful in both ways.
It's a bunch of notorious characters. Okay. So everyone's notorious.
Yeah.
I think, to an extent.
Are they inglorious?
They're all pretty bastard-like. If that's where you're going with your joke.
Maybe I was, Danny. Maybe I was. How does Hateful Eight compare to his previous films? Let's not go too far back because I don't think we really need to.
Yeah.
Let's go as far back as Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained.
I still
previous
think,
2 films.
Yeah, I think Inglourious Bastards is my favourite of his films.
Oh, yeah.
I love Inglourious Bastards.
Yep.
Django, I thought was good, but it didn't do anything for me.
I love Django Unchained.
I bet you do.
Inglourious Bastards, top film.
Yep.
A 3-hour tension ballet.
Yep.
Ooh. Really, really difficult to watch, I must say.
Yep.
But expertly done.
Yep.
But it's not the sort of movie that I would watch twice. Thoughts?
I disagree. I think it's almost... It's best...
Have you watched it twice?
I've seen it like 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah. My only problem with Inglourious Bastards is it's so much to bite, so I kind of watch it in parts and pieces now. I don't watch the whole film all the way through.
That's interesting. So you watch it in your own little installments.
Yeah.
Before bedtime, at breakfast time, on the toilet.
Yeah. What?
Interesting. I need to be completely uninterrupted when I'm watching a film.
Yeah, I do as well. At least the original time I watch it.
Yeah.
Like subsequent times, you know,
yeah,
it's less important. But for me, Inglourious Basterds, the best part of that film is the opening scene.
Run it through. Actually, Danny, can you show me a clip?
Yeah, I can.
You're sheltering them underneath your floorboards, aren't you?
Yes.
Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
Yeah, no, that was a fantastic film. And I think because of how tense it was, that's why I haven't been able to return to it and watch it again. I find those kind of films with that much tension very difficult to watch.
Yeah.
However, Django Unchained is the first movie of Quentin Tarantino, other than Pulp Fiction, where I felt there was so much to chew on, and it had the tension in just the right areas that I've seen it like... That is my Inglourious Basterds. I've seen that 3
I would
times,
argue that that's a bit more...
I love it as a film and not just as a Tarantino film.
Sure. And that's why I like Inglourious Basterds so much.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many more elements to the film than Tarantino's sharp, witty, great dialogue.
Yeah.
And there was just so much more meat on the bones. Every scene was a movie in itself.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really say that about most movies.
So Django, what was your problem with it? Because I'm really curious.
Sure.
Danny from Dan and Mitch On does not like Django Unchained.
I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, I'm sorry. Terry, can we rewind that? Before we go any further, Terry, can you cut to the scene where Hitler gets blown away? Excellent. Always wanted to see that again, but not actually watch the film.
The thing about Django is like it was artful to watch, and like the performances were fantastic. The cinematography was as fantastic as ever, but I just wasn't really a big fan of the story. I'm not a big fan of revenge.
See, I would disagree. I wouldn't say it's a revenge story. I would say it's a love story.
I would say it's a revenge story with a love motive.
A love motive. No, but the thing is, they didn't go in there to kill all of the slavers that had his wife captured. They went in there to save her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, spoiler alert, it wasn't until the end where
Django?
Where Christoph Waltz made a split-second decision to kill Leonardo DiCaprio just because he was such a massive douchebag.
Was a massive dick.
And I just love that sequence because it might not have happened. If crazy Leonardo DiCaprio didn't insist that Christoph Waltz shake his hand, Waltz wouldn't have pulled the trigger on him, killed him, and then ended in that bloodbath. In fact, the last 30 minutes of the movie wouldn't have happened if Waltz had just, kept the gun in his pants.
Yeah. I actually agree.
You do agree?
That was a really good moment.
It was a fantastic moment.
The thing I love about films is when there's a single moment or a series of moments which could not happen. There's a moment where everyone can live happily ever after. I've always loved the idea of a single like changeable moment.
Shake my hand, Danny.
I'm not gonna shake it.
Shake my hand.
I'm not gonna shake
You're
it.
blocking. Well, howdy partners! Seeing as though Hateful Eight had an intermission, so I'm told, I think we should have one as well. So Terry, can you cut to an intermission? Hey everybody, welcome to the Hateful Eight! Moving on.
There's an actor by the name of Walter Goggins.
Yep.
And he plays the character of Mannix.
Okay.
And I think it's one of my favourite performances of the year.
Can we get a picture of that? Good forehead, Goggins.
Yeah.
A good
You've probably seen him before. He looks familiar.
A good Goggins noggin.
Yeah. Things I've seen him in is Sons of Anarchy and Justified.
okay.
He was also in The Shield.
He was your favourite character in Hateful Eight.
Not necessarily my favourite character, but just the most interesting and the one character I could never kind of pin down.
Okay.
I felt that
Was he the one that done it?
Yep.
How was Samuel L. Jackson?
It's Samuel L. Jackson in his wheelhouse. Like Quentin Tarantino and Samuel L. Jackson go together like bread and butter, and I like bread and butter.
Like fairies and bread.
That's an Australian thing.
Oh, it is. Fairy bread. High five, Danny. Shit. Just put that over there. Did most of the action happen inside the house? Is this another Reservoir Dogs?
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
Reservoir Dogs.
That's
was
why
one
I
of the
like
biggest pieces of
Django, because
inspiration.
it wasn't in one location. You went to so many different places, and it never lingered for too long in one place.
Yeah. The only problem with this film, if we are looking to talk about problems, is it kind of went on for too long. I feel like someone could have gone
A
in
Tarantino film too long, Denny?
No. It's just I think there's a little too much footage.
It is 3 hours. Oh, it was 2 hours.
It didn't
and
need to be. I don't
58
think. I mean,
minutes or something.
I still like this film a lot.
Yeah.
But the problem was it felt like it was either dragging its feet or not getting to where it needed to get to.
Right, let me ask you this: if it's too long, what scene would you cut out?
I would abridge the opening act.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I would abridge the opening act, and I would abridge the closing act.
Well, I think if you're setting a film in one location, the likelihood that it's going to drag just kind of goes up.
There are other locations.
Yeah.
There is another.
Because
the opening isn't set in the cabin. Like the characters need to get to the cabin, so there's stuff before.
Yeah.
And there are elements where they go outside the cabin, so it's not like locked in a single room. It's not like a full chamber piece. There are elements outside, but I just feel like the best part of the movie is when everyone's trying to figure out who did it, and that ended too quickly for me.
Okay.
It took too long to get to the mystery, and the mystery was solved too early for me.
Okay.
The best part of the movie was the middle part. It felt like that was the smallest part, but maybe it was just so good. It was just over so quickly. I get so much trivia.
Lay it on me.
The actual set itself was refrigerated.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So when you see the characters talk and there's, you can see their breath.
Yeah.
That's not CG. That's real. Tarantino hates CG.
Yeah. No, I hate
hates
CG as well. That's interesting.
Yep.
Have you seen that CG, the Terminator Genesis, that scene where he jumps on the bus or anything? That entire sequence looks so CG. I don't like that CG.
Never heard of that movie. It doesn't exist.
Clip?
No.
Clip?
No.
Terry?
No.
I want a clip.
I think one of the best parts about the film was that it had more of an official soundtrack, or more of a soundtrack I was a bit more unfamiliar with.
Okay.
Whereas traditionally Tarantino will use scores from other things or existing
he does,
music. The fact that he had more original stuff, I think, elevated this film.
When you say original, what sort of scores are we talking here?
We're talking
original Western scores?
Yeah,
Because I heard that this
Western
isn't actually a
scores.
spaghetti Western. It's a Western.
It's just
style.
a film set in a Western world, but it's almost non-Western to an extent.
Well, yeah.
It's just the characters live in a Western world more so than anything else.
So, Denny, the Hateful Eight, are you going to give it 8 out of 10 Denny's?
We don't do Denny's like that. There's not 10 Denny's.
Okay. Out of 5, how many Denny's do you rate it, Denny?
I'd give it 3.75 Denny's.
3.75 Denny's. There you go.
How many Denny's would you give the film?
None.
None?
Because I haven't seen it.
Ah, indeed.
But that number will go up, or maybe stay the same. You never know, guys.
Well, what would you give Django? How many Denny's would you give Django?
How many... okay. I would probably give Django 4.5 Denny's.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'd give Inglourious Bastards 3.5 Denny's.
I'd give Inglourious Bastards 4.5 Denny's.
That's a good amount of Denny's.
That's a lot of Denny's
That's
going
a lot
everywhere.
of Denny's. It's just...
Please don't.
So there you have it, people. We would love it if you would like and subscribe the video.
And let us know what you thought of Hateful Eight, if you've seen it.
And just before we go, I would just like to end on a strong note. Denny, shake my hand. This has been a great review.
Ow! Party popper, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh. There you have it, folks. Yeah, cut that, Terry. Fire hazard. Oh, no, Denny. You gotta let the blood coagulate, Denny.